Hi everyone, welcome to the weekly astrology and a pick a card reading for this week. So I'm going to talk about the astrology as I normally do, and then I want you to pick from 3 objects here. So see what you're drawn to for the week ahead. Just make sure that there is not too much glare. Okay, there seems to be a lot of glare on this side, but I don't know if that's actually coming out on camera. But the first object is for the first pile of cards. So this is the shell that I found at a beach one day. It's got all those rainbow colors in it. The second lot is for the rose quartz seer stone. Okay, so if you're drawn to that, it's for this pile. And the last object is the beautiful labradorite pendulum. Okay, so have a look and see as I'm talking about the astrology what you're drawn to. Sometimes it can help too if you're not sure, because if you're like me and you can be a bit indecisive, all those Geminis and Libras out there will relate. If you can be indecisive, close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, and then open your eyes and see where your eyes are drawn to. It could be the pile of cards, or it could be the object. So I'm going to talk about the astrology while you do that. This is for the 7th of January through to the 13th of January. So a lot going on with the astrology this week. All week we have an influence of Jupiter in Sagittarius squared to Neptune in Pisces. This is kind of an overreaching energy with these 2 planets, and it will affect people. The signs that it will affect the most are going to be anyone that has strong Sagittarius, Gemini, Virgo or Pisces in their astrology chart. If you know your chart, look at the degrees. If you have anything around 13 to 14 degrees, this could be a confusing week for you where it comes to your ideals, where you're going forward in your life, making decisions. So you might feel like you're back and forth in your mind about certain decisions. And you know what I always say to people is, when you're unsure, it just means it's not the best time to make a decision, because it's a better time to make a decision when you feel more of a sense of certainty and you feel like your emotions aren't as heavily involved. So there could be some confusion with that Jupiter square Neptune. It could be throwing a bit of a spanner in the works around things that you thought you were quite certain about before. It is a bit of a test of faith, this transit, so you might be tested in your faith about something, but I would say don't give up on it. Just sort of, it's time to kind of take a step back from any serious decision making to a degree. You know, it's ironic because we have all this other energy in Capricorn, and Capricorn wants to make decisions. We've got Sun in Capricorn at the moment, Moon in Capricorn, Mercury's in Capricorn now, and Saturn of course is in Capricorn for a long time still. So there is a desire to make decisions, but yet we feel confused this week and into next week as well. So it's like, okay, you might have a sense of the bigger picture, but this week you may just feel a bit uncertain. Okay, so it's good to know that. Venus this week goes into Sagittarius, which is fantastic news. Comes out of being in Scorpio, which has been very heavy for quite a long time there with regards to relationships. With Venus on the anaretic degree of Scorpio, just before it goes into Sagittarius this week, be aware that there can be a peak of tension in relationships. There can be a peak of tension around finances, or issues related. Okay, but once on Tuesday, actually, so Tuesday Venus goes into Sagittarius, will feel much lighter, probably much happier, much more spontaneous, much more wanting to have fun, not so heavy and not so serious about our way that we're relating, kind of just taking the edge off relationships a little bit and making them more fun and spontaneous and jovial. Tuesday to Thursday, Mercury makes a square with Mars. So if you have strong Aries, Capricorn, Libra or Cancer in your chart, and anything specifically from 5 to 8 degrees of those signs that I mentioned, watch out for anger, watch out for saying something that could really hurt someone's feelings, and something that you can't take back. Arguments can flare up, problems with children, especially male children with Mercury and Mars. If you have kids, and that's Tuesday to Thursday, so there can be some tension in the air. If you're driving, watch out for road rage as well with this energy, Tuesday to Thursday-ish. Okay, on Sunday, Mercury conjuncts with Saturn, so once again on Sunday we start to feel very serious mentally again. We're wanting to plan. It is a good time on Sunday to write down some goals and plans for the future. It's quite strong energy then. I forgot something though. Thursday to Friday, very intense energy with the Sun conjunction to Pluto in Capricorn. So on Thursday to Friday this week, we may see issues coming up to do with government, big picture issues. You know, you might be aware of things to do with corruption in the world, in society. There could be issues to do with your own awareness of your own resources, how far your resources stretch to create what you want to create for your life. Maybe feeling very serious about wanting to plan for your future. This energy is very strong Thursday and Friday. So, you can maximize that energy by, again, making plans for your future, writing down goals, coming up with new ideas for planning for your future in any way, whether it's to do with your health, your finances, where you want to live or what you want to do with your home, things like this. So the energy this week is pretty intense and pretty dynamic. I do really like Venus moving into Sagittarius on Tuesday. There is that confusion this week with Jupiter square Neptune, so it's sort of like hard to make decisions, but then you kind of might get solidified towards the end of the week thinking, okay, I was confused earlier, but now I'm just going to write down what I really want deep down inside, what I truly want, not what I feel like I'm supposed to do, more what I really feel in my heart of hearts, and perhaps working on that. With the Sun conjunct Pluto, there could also be some power struggles that come up, some control issues around finances or material aspect of life, okay? This is quite a powerful transit, Sun conjunct Pluto. I mean, it only lasts for a couple of days, but still it's quite a strong energy there. And we could even hear about some clashes in government or something very potentially intense on the political scene as well on a global level. All right, so I'm going to go to the cards now. So let's have a look. Let's put those to the side. So if you chose the seashell, all right, you have one. They all have one tarot card. Oh, the Five of Swords. Not my favorite card. What else? Financial and material changes and round and round. Oh, wow. Interesting. All right. So let me just make sure that you can all see that. So if you chose the seashell, the first lot of cards, it looks like this week there is potential arguments, and that's interesting because we do have the Mercury square with Mars. So if you chose this, you may have strong cardinal energy in your astrology chart, like those signs that I said, Aries, Libra, Cancer or Capricorn. Just watch out for power struggles, arguments, tension in relationships, tension within yourself and, or other people that you can sense and then projecting it onto you or vice versa. We have 2 5s here, which is very interesting. It's 5 energy is about independence and focusing on your own independence versus what other people are doing. So perhaps you wanting to be more independent this week is causing some kind of clash or drama with other people, or some kind of jealousy or retaliatory type energy. But basically this is about arguments, and this one here is financial and material changes. So it's about, I feel this is about becoming more financially independent through what you're doing, whether it's your own business, wanting to do more to do with your own business, stepping out on your own in your life in some way. Then we have the round and round card here, which it's a 7. So there's something spiritual going on at the same time with all these very earthly things that are kind of bogging your energy down. But there is a higher energy, I feel, with this, which is letting you know that despite some challenges you're having this week, you are kind of your guides are trying to let you know that despite all of this, that there are lessons that you're learning of a spiritual nature, and they will help you. So even if there are challenges with other people, just know that even when we have difficulties, there are lessons that the soul is learning, okay? Notice the spiral, which indicates the constant growth and evolution, okay? So interesting messages there. Okay, so the next lot of cards is for those that chose the Seer Quartz, the Rose Quartz. All right, so what you guys have. Oh, endings, the 10 of Swords, okay. The Sun, amazing. And the 6, which says not for you. It's got a fortune cookie and a chessboard. Oh, intriguing. Okay, so what I really like about this is, for those that chose the Rose Quartz, the Seer Quartz, there is an ending for you guys this week of some kind. But you know what? This is a very positive thing, because to have like a sort of ending and a death energy, the end of a cycle, and then this new energy which is the sun, which is the light, and, you know, which is insight, knowledge, and fresh energy, vitality, and a rebirth. It's very powerful to have these two together. So there is an aspect of your old self or your old life that is almost dying away this week for those of you that chose that. And the 10, you know, indicates the ending here. And then we have the 9 plus 1, which is also a 10 and reduces to 1 in numerology, which is a brand new start, okay? So there is something that you've let go of here, because it says on this card, not for you, and a chessboard. So there might have been something that you've had to be quite careful about in terms of, you know, the moves that you've been making, what you've been saying, how you've been expressing yourself. Maybe you wanted to help someone or someone was helping you and vice versa, something along those lines. But it's saying that, you know, I feel like I'm getting this situation may have blocked you from progressing. So it's like it's saying that be aware that anything that we've held on to, knowing that it wasn't good for us, if there is a change with that this week, and even if there's some drama around it, just know that this is actually going to refresh you by letting go of it, because it wasn't actually something that you were meant to hold on to, okay? So that's what I'm getting with that. And for those that chose the pendulum, the Labradorite pendulum, the Death card, more ending energy. Wow. Deep knowing and material harvest. Another card about material abundance. Okay. So it's almost like the first lot of cards. Wow, there's some similar themes here. The second lot of cards with the ending and new beginning is kind of similar to those of you that chose the pendulum. Okay, so we have the Death card. You know, the Death card always is very symbolic of endings, okay? Of, you know, having kind of got the most out of a situation for a long time, for a long-term cycle. A long-term cycle is ending, okay? So there may be for some people this sense of loss or a sense of heaviness, especially with all that Capricorn energy, and even with the Sun conjunct Pluto towards the end of this week. This I wouldn't be surprised if those watching this have strong Earth energy. That's what I'm picking up on. You know, Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo, or strong cardinal energy. Could have that as well in your astrology. But there is endings around you at this time. And what this card is saying is, spiritually, you've known that something was going to end. You've sensed it. And your intuition has been preparing you for this for a long time. So deep knowing says, this is not news to you. You've known this for a while. It's just that perhaps that it hasn't been the right time to move forward or make a change, or, you know, for some people I'm hearing separations. So there could be separations of some kind, or it could be that you're moving on to a better path that is more connected to your true soul's growth. And it wouldn't surprise me with the material harvest card here, which is saying there is new abundance coming in, but you need to step into this new life and releasing aspects of your old self, you know, with the Death card as well. Releasing what is no longer allowing you to grow, which has no more growth. It's kind of like you've maxed out the growth in a particular zone of your life, in a particular area. It can be a bit confronting, you know, this message. So, but that said, if you've got this message, you'll know what it is because you've had a knowing about this for a long time, okay? And it may just be that this week something pivotal happens that helps you to kind of release something more, and it may not be that all the changes happen this week, but it may be that you've just released a bit of extra baggage around it, or you've kind of come to feel a bit more comfortable about, you know, understanding that change is, you know, such a inevitable part of life. You know, that change, there's that saying that change is the only constant in life. And even though sometimes change happens on a micro level, we are always, you know, evolving. So it's not something that can be avoided. And, you know, especially if, I mean, I'm a Taurus and I've got strong Scorpio and a lot of fixed signs. I personally don't like too much change either, because it makes us feel quite unstable. But when you work on that sort of abundance from within yourself as well, that sense of security from within your being, that's very powerful and helps you to feel much more stable. So, but just lastly with this message, this has been saying that your guides have been talking to you about this on a higher level. You may have been having dreams about change or just feelings about it in general. So, as I said, there is some confusion with the astrology this week, so it may not be that you're making those solid decisions this week, but this feeling inside is getting very strong, and just it's really sort of reassuring you that you're going to be taken care of. You know, you've got the material harvest card, so it's saying that even if there is change, you may be worried about your material security and stability, but it's saying you're going to be fine. Everything's going to work out for the best in that regard, so it's not something that you have to fret over, okay? So if you would like a private reading with me, follow the links below to my online store. Current turnaround is still the same because I'm quite busy, 7 to 14 business days. And yeah, you can book through my Etsy store. Thank you so much for watching, everybody, and have a fantastic week ahead. Bye for now.